What's up guys, FM Campbell here, welcome to episode number 21 of the Aston Villa series. Now, we left you last and we only had one game to go and we had to win it to get 7th place, and we did. Newcastle, we beat them 3-1. Memphis Depay with an absolute worldie. He scored a goal and scored 2 goals, and got an assist for the Icardi goal. So it ended up 3-1. Kombarov got the only goal. Kombarov got the only goal in the 91st minute with a penalty. So it's a very comfortable 3-0 victory until they scored last minute, made it 3-1. But yeah, Memphis Depay with an absolute worldie. 9.3 as you can see in the game. Really dominated them as well at Villa Park. So this is how it left us in the league. It's a good job we did win because Everton won and Southampton drew, and it meant that we would probably have finished in 9th place if we didn't win that game. But yeah, 3-1. Very comfortable, and it means that we qualify for the Europa League again next season. The team that was relegated, that joined Middlesbrough and Fulham that I mentioned in the previous episode, was West Brom. So West Brom joined them in the relegation zone and they go down. In regards to the teams coming up, the team that joined, as I predicted actually in the previous episode if I remember rightly, Cardiff joined Sunderland and Burnley in the promotion to the Premier League. So 6th place Cardiff joined top and second as normal to come up to the Premier League and come play with us big boys. So God, that sounded weird. There's another thing I'll add to the list of do not say. So anyway, this episode is very much going to be a big season review of what's been going on. So we'll go back to the fixtures. We'll start off with the league. To be fair, I think we done okay. 7th place again. Again, we were at the beginning of the season we predicted to finish mid-table, and then at the end of the season we actually changed it to finish Europa League. And so not too bad at all. We started off quite poorly with 2 draws and 2 losses against City, West Ham, Everton and Arsenal. Then we had a real nice run from Fulham down to Liverpool, where we went unbeaten. So Fulham, QPR, Stoke, Leicester, beat them all. Then we drew with Swansea, beat Middlesbrough, drew with United, and then beat West Brom. And then finally, obviously, as you can see, we drew with Liverpool, and then we finally lost to Tottenham 4-2, which was really unfortunate. We were down to 10 men in the first half, and Emmanuel Adebayor with 4 goals as well, all 4 of the goals, as you've probably remembered. Then we kind of went topsy-turvy for a while. Then we had a nice patch of unbeaten, and then this tough patch that obviously I mentioned in the previous episode really put us in the danger zone to not qualify for Europa, which meant that we would have missed out on our targets in the league. And then obviously we finally rescued it with a 3-1 victory over Newcastle to confirm our status in Europa League next season. In regards to the FA Cup, terrible, absolutely terrible. But the board weren't too bothered because we did get knocked out by Arsenal. We beat Oldham 4-1 in the 3rd round, and then we unfortunately lost at the Emirates to Arsenal, only 1-0. Alexis Sanchez with an 82nd minute winner, which kicked us out of the FA Cup early doors. And this is just even poorer. Doncaster beat us 1-0 in the Capital One Cup, and we were out 3rd round. Didn't even get past the 3rd round, so the board were not happy about that. The board weren't too happy about the FA Cup, but as I said, they understood that we're knocked out by Arsenal, which are obviously a big team. However, the Europa League, we did extremely well. We were expected to reach the group stage. We did so. We beat Luzern 6-1 over 2 legs. We then beat Željeznica 2-0 over 2 legs to get into the group stage. So we're brilliant, happy days. We've made our target. But then we dominated the group. We beat Randers 2-0, Rubin Kazan 1-0, Werder Bremen we beat 3-0. Then we drew 0-0 with them away at the Westerstadion. Then Randers FC we beat 2-1, Rubin Kazan 3-0. And that meant that we finished top of the group, and we drew Victoria Pilsen in the next round. In the first knockout round, we drew 1-1 away at the Stadion Mesta Pizne, drew 1-1, and then we managed to batter them 4-0 at home, making it 5-1 on aggregate to get through to the next round. And I've mentioned this in previous episodes. I said to everyone that I did not want Atletico. I felt that they were the strongest team in the group, and left in the competition, and we did draw them. They obviously kicked out the Champions League, finished in 3rd place in their group, come down into the Europa League, and they beat us 7-4 on aggregate over 2 legs, beating us in both legs, which is really, really unfortunate. We did score 2 goals in each game, which is good. It's a good sign, I guess, of going forward. Atletico being such a huge team in Europe, and so not bad for Aston Villa to get at least 4 goals against them. In regards to the Europa League, yeah, I know in the knockout stages, Napoli won it 2-0. They actually beat Atletico, that knocked us out 2-0 in the final. John Guidetti got joint second with most player awards. Scuffet got top of the clean sheet award. I'm guessing that's the Golden Glove in the competition. Most yellow cards, Jonathan Silva, they're in there with third. Excuse me, or joint second technically. But yeah, Napoli won the Europa League. So is that all the competition? Yeah, that's pretty much it. So overall, I mean, really, really disappointed with us domestically in the domestic competitions. Very, very happy with how we did in the Europa and also the league. I'm kind of content about. I would have preferred to have done better. We finished in 7th place, as you said, by only a point. I'd really like to push into the sort of the 5th and 6th next season. Maybe sort of strive for the Champions League spots. We'll see how we get on. We'll see how we strengthen in the summer. But yeah, lots of news. There's going to be loads of changes, I feel, in this team. Loads and loads of changes. There has actually already been some sort of deals externally going on that I've already been sort of looking at and maybe sort of playing with, but obviously the transfer window isn't open as of yet. I think it opens on the 9th, so we don't have anyone joining as of yet. So let's go into what's been going on. Qualify for the Europa League, which is good, as I said. Champions League is our personal target for next season. It really is. And when we beat Newcastle, we actually got Martin Jol sacked. He was sacked as the Newcastle manager. I don't know whether they've got a new manager yet as of or not. Which is, I don't really know why. They finished 11th. Mark Hughes is now the current Newcastle manager. Let's check out the managers actually. QPR still got Chris Ramsey. Sam Allardyce is at Reading. I think I did this a couple of episodes ago. Michel's at Southampton. Brendan Rodgers is now at Stoke. Paul Lambert's at Swansea. Mauricio Pochettino is at Tottenham still. Gary Bowyer's at West Brom. Karanka's at West Ham. Arsene Wenger's still at Arsenal. Obviously we're at Aston Villa. Jose Mourinho's still at Chelsea. Henning Berg is now the manager of Everton. Malcolm Mackay's at Fulham. Harry Redknapp at Hull. Nigel Pearson's still at Leicester. He's doing well there. Liverpool, I've got Steve Clarke. Man City's still Pellegrini. Unai Emery's at Man United. Tony Mowbray's at Middlesbrough. And then obviously Mark Hughes again is at Newcastle. So we'll go back down actually to the Championship, and we'll go to, not season preview, we'll see who the managers are that are bringing their teams up. So we have Burnley. I've got Gustavo Poyet's at Burnley. Then we have Sunderland, who have Roy Keane. Roy Keane's back at Sunderland. And then who's at Cardiff? Well, Cardiff done well. They're predicted to finish 11th. Nigel Atkins is bringing Cardiff up to the Premier League. So fair play to them. So that's how they look for next season. Now, the board set. Well, actually, we'll go through these things first. We were given 14.81 million for finishing 7th, which is always good. Hazard won the Premier League Footballer of the Year. Diego Costa won Players Player of the Year, and Christian Eriksen won Young Player of the Year. And then finally, Mourinho won Manager of the Year. I would love to win that next year. I'd really, really like to get a Manager of the Year accolade next to our name. The club set our initial budgets at 1.3 million in wages and 22.56 million in the kitty. So we've got a little bit of money to spend. We have got some players to sell, as I've probably mentioned in previous episodes. Now, transfers. We've got some transfers agreed. Charlie Austin is joining us on the 9th of the 6th. In fact, we'll go into the transfers in... I don't know if it will show us in here. Will it? What date are we? No, it won't show us in here yet, because they're not done deals, are they? Right, so we'll have to do it via the actual transfer thing. So we'll go to the transfer centre. Charlie Austin is joining us at the end of the season. He's coming for very, very cheap. He's joining us for 775k. Obviously joins on the 9th of... Is it 9th of June? January, February, March, April, May, June. Yeah, so he joins us on the 9th. So why does it not say us in here? Why does it not tell us in here that he joins? That's strange. But yeah, 9th of the 6th. Charlie Austin joins. What else have we got? Chelsea won the FA Cup. That's probably I should show you that actually. So we'll go into our schedule, show the filters. FA Cup. Chelsea won it 3-2 against Man City. In regard, I've done the Europa League. Who won Capital One Cup? Man City won the Capital One Cup, so they needed on the domestic double in the competition. They beat Man United 1-0, single goal, managing to get them the victory. Obviously, we know that, as I said, Napoli beat Atletico, knocked us out, and the Premier League was obviously won by Chelsea. So Chelsea done the domestic double. Yeah, domestic double in the FA Cup and the Premier League. In regards to the Champions League, I need to find the Champions League. Here we go. Champions League. Barcelona beat Man City done really well last season. No wonder Pellegrini's still there. But yeah, Barcelona won the Champions League 3-1 over Man City. Look at Lionel Messi, 8.28. Suarez 8.12. PK 7.9. Messi with 14 goals in the tournament and also 7 assists. He also got 4 Player of the Match awards and just dominates everything. He's absolutely unbelievable. But yeah, they actually, obviously as you can see, Steaua Bucharest got to the semi-final. No, that can't be right. Surely not. Semi-final? No, I was going to say. Man City beat Chelsea to get to the final, and Barca beat PSG to get there. And that's obviously the teams were knocked out. Then in the first knockout round, Man United were beaten and knocked out by Juventus in the end. Wow. So yeah, City nearly. I can't believe how well City done. But we'll move on. Let's have a look. So I'm just going through my list again. This is big news. Newcastle, after they sacked Martin Jol, they actually offered us an interview. Don't understand why. I personally believe they're with the below us in the league, so that would surely reflect that they're below us in sort of stature as well. But yeah, Newcastle finished in 11th. They actually offered us an interview. I didn't take it. We declined it, obviously. The objective is Aston Villa. We've only got a stable job status. I thought we would be a little bit higher than that. Obviously, as we got to change our objective for the season. But yeah, we've only got a stable job status at the moment. I'm guessing the domestic cups probably played into that as well, because we did so well in the Europa League. So yeah, very, very bit of a concern. I hope we don't get sacked, if I'm honest. But we are 6-1 to be sacked. There was one of them prediction to be sack races, but we're 6-1 to be sacked. I think we're something like 5th favourite to be sacked. With only a stable job status. So that's very, very weird. So we need to press on next season. I think we need to press for Champions League football. That's why I've made it my personal goal. We're being linked with this. This is why it doesn't make sense. Obviously, Man United didn't do very well this season. So if we go to the Premier League, they finished 5th. They got knocked out in the knockout stages of the Champions League. They lost in the Capital One Cup final to City. They didn't make it to the FA Cup final, obviously. So not a great season for them. So with favourites to be sacked, well, 4th favourite to be sacked in the league, yet we're being linked with the Man United job. Now, Man United are my team anyway, so I was absolutely buzzing with that. But I was then asked about it in the press, and I rejected it. And the board then were like, "Oh, we love you. We're delighted that you've rejected the United rumours." Blah 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 blah. And yeah, so they were absolutely chuffed to bits. So, in regards to our sponsorship for the end of the season, it's pretty much every single sponsorship that we have or had has doubled. So we've got a sponsorship deal here that ends. It's a 1-year general sponsorship. That was 5 million. It's now 10. 4-year main kit sponsorship. That was something like 4 million. That's now 7.5. Continental. Basically, a lot of these deals finished, and they're restarting. The 1-year continental competition sponsorship. That was about 500k. It's got to 1.5 mil. We've got a 3-year general sponsorship as well. 245k per season. That was at about 120, 130k. So it's pretty much all completely doubled. We are still paying off our gift loan of 107 million. We've got 90 million remaining on the loan, obviously zero interest. We're paying 893k back a month, so I am being very, very wary of the finances. We've got a balance of 60 million, which is projected to be 50 million by the end of the season. Well, it's projected to be 50 million. But we do have 100% transfer revenue, which is good, so we can sell some players currently and try and make ourselves some money. But things, they're looking okay. I'm a little bit concerned as to why we're so highly favourites. Well, fourth favourite to be sacked, and yet we've been linked to other jobs. Very, very strange. More signings that I want to mention that happened as well. Obviously, I said about Charlie Austin. We've got Bertolacci, who's signing as well. He's joining on a free transfer. He joins on the 1st of the 7th, so the 1st of July, so in a month's time today. So the information will obviously be in this in more detail in the next episode. We're paying him 16 grand a week, nice and cheap, nice and cheap, 275k signing on fee. I just think we can make some money on this guy. Centre midfielder, 25 years old, just leaving Genoa. Obviously contract up at the end of the season. Why not? Let's try and make some more money on some more players. Who else did we have? Everton also offered a job interview. So not just Newcastle, not just being linked to United. Everton offered a job interview. We rejected that. Again, they were very, very pleased. Lovra Kalinic joins at the end of the season. This guy looks really good. Goalkeeper. Joins again on the 1st of the 7th. He's really, really good. Other than his kicking. I've never seen him before. Plays for Hashtag Split currently. Great goalkeeper. So keep an eye out for him on your saves. He's currently on £250 a week as well. So, I mean, if you've got this league loaded up, great goalkeeper for your team. Obviously, we're only in the middle of the transfer window. Hasn't quite opened as of yet. There's a couple of players that we're looking at. Players still haven't returned to their clubs that are on loan. And obviously players aren't out of contract as of yet. In regards to these ones, we've got Torvin joining for 1.4 million. He joins on the 1st of the 7th as well. Tyder, we know about 9th of the 6th. Spendelhofer, we've signed at the end of the season. On a free, sorry. I think we can make some money. He looks like a really, really good player. Look at the physicals. So yeah, looks like a great player. 22 years old. He from Inter, signs on a free. Amidou Salifu signs on a free as well, joins on the 1st to the 7th. I've signed this guy since FM13, I think. Every single time he's left. He's not a bad player at all, just needs some work. And I think we can make some money on him. Havard Nordtveit, whatever his name is, from Borussia Mönchengladbach. He's very good technical, very good mental attributes. Great thrower, good physical. Again, see how we get on with him. He's got good rating, a relatively good rating as well. Consistent performer, which I like. Not injury prone, which is good. Very, very cheap as well, so we'll probably look to make some money on him. But look at this. Alright. Lacazette joins on the 1st of the 7th. He signed. How much did he sign for? 15.75 million. We're only paying 5 million initial fee. 10.75 million over 48 months. But look at him. I think the idea is I'll have Depay on the left, Icardi up top, and I'll have Lacazette on the right as like a 3. He will become obviously an inside forward. We'll retrain him as an inside forward in attack. So yeah, unreal. He's so good. Lacazette joining Aston Villa, crazy. Lovra Kalinic we've already mentioned. Will Hughes, Englishman. This guy's obviously going to try and replace Sol with him, because Sol's been absolutely key in that centre midfield. 10 million we're signing for, 2.5 initial fee, 7.5 million over 48 months. English, which is the massive thing. 9th of the 6th he joins. He's actually most natural in defensive midfield. I want to play him as advanced playmaker in centre midfield. I think our long-term plan is to have a 4-2-3-1 formation rather than this defensive midfield. I think we can push on and maybe get some more goals. Timo Horn, we're looking at as a goalkeeper. Deciding what to do. He's obviously he's unhappy currently because he wants to join us. 6.75 million release clause, so we'll see what we can make. Facundo Cardozo joins on the 1st of July. Good player all round. Probably look to make money on him. Lucas Cano, this guy's unreal. I'm planning to have this guy to be our 3rd choice or 2nd choice striker. Really, really good stats. He plays for Argentinos Juniors at the moment. Joining us, I think it's really cheap, 3.9 million he cost us. That's a release clause. Well, that matches his release clause, but unreal. Great determination, good physicals, finishing 14, composure 14, which is good. First touch does need improving, and I think that'll be the main thing, and his passing as well, the main thing that we work on. Bertolacci I've mentioned. Kumi Babacar is also joining on the 1st to the 7th. Striker, 6'3", absolute unit. Physicals really good. Good finishing, good composure, good first touch. Headings there as well for his height and his jumping reach. Not a bad player at all actually, Kumi Babacar. I do really do rate him. So we'll see what we decide to do with him. We're trying to get a left back. Abdul Baba is unreal. I've signed him in the World Network game, but he's just unrealistic for us at the moment. And then Charlie Austin's the one I mentioned. So lots going on. These are all free transfers and free deals at the minute. We're going to try and make some money. We've got lots of money to make as well in here, in the under 21s. So much money to make. Whether we're saving on some of these guys on their wages when they're out on loan, or just selling them in general. Their values are changing all the time. Hopefully we can make some more money, as I said. Under 18s, they're looking okay. Some of them obviously come up to the under 21s when we'll have to make a decision on what we think their future will be at the club. So we'll see. But get your comments in, get your suggestions in. Who do you think I should sell? Who do you think I should keep? Who do you think I should buy? And yeah, that's pretty much it. So remember to leave a like if you enjoyed the episode. Remember to subscribe if you're enjoying the content. Don't forget about the World Network game every Saturday at 1 o'clock. And don't also forget that we're building a force over at York City, which will in the long term become our main save on the channel. But we've got to win the Champions League of Aston Villa first. Anyway guys, I'll see you in episode number 22 next week. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. Peace.